Hello, greetings. I have with me a very, very special lady and who has been a very active member of our daily marketing coach community, and her name is Jahnan Derso. Hi, Jahnan. How are you today?
Hi.
I have to admit, when I think of you, here's what I think of: a little boy on your knee.
Oh, yeah. He's outside right now.
Okay, I was kind of wondering where is the little boy on your knee, but it's just you right now, but he's outside playing, so that's awesome. Well, this is a really exciting interview for me because the value of daily marketing coach to me is so enormous and immense, and it pains me when I don't see people taking advantage of it. You, on the other hand, take every advantage you possibly can, which is exactly what I want people to do. But let's step back a moment, if you could, just to share a little bit about yourself, your background, and what brought you to the Daily Marketing Coach.
Sure. Well, I consider myself a self-care revolutionary. And so basically what that means is I've been working in the healing arts field for almost 15 years now. And I found that people would come to me broken and expect me to fix them every week. And they wouldn't do any of the homework I would give them.
Okay, that explains
And
it.
I got over it. I just was like, this isn't sustainable. I'm not here just to make money off people's illness. I want to empower people to feel better and to take care of themselves more because it doesn't need to be this way. So that really created my foundation of believing that the art of nurturing ourselves is the key to being able to take care of everybody else around us, because no matter if you're single or you have a family, there's always somebody, even if it's your dog, that needs you to take care of them. And I also have been I call it a practical herbalist because I don't make herbal remedies that just sit on the shelf. I only make things that I use almost daily, if not weekly. And if they don't fit that bill, I don't make them.
Hmm.
Those are truly my greatest allies to find health and create balance. And my passion is around traveling. So I've traveled the globe to gather these tools and to bring them to people who are looking for, honestly, I've got some quick ways for people to take care of themselves. And I'm noticing in the industry that that's something that does differentiate me because I'm a busy mom and I've worked with a lot of other busy moms in my career. I've noticed that quick is a very key, important piece to it. So all this kind of comes together with my passion, which is to bring indigenous wisdom to the Western mind and body. And then eventually, I'd really like to be bringing Western resources to places like my
Ah.
husband's rural village in Ethiopia. That's one of our big dreams, is to be able to do that. So it's kind of multi-tiered, but I would consider myself a self-care revolutionary, Anne.
Wow, I'm really impressed. I don't mean to digress, but you've got me greatly intrigued. I mean, we've done marketing reviews together, so I know of what you do. But what is intriguing to me, because I'm an educator, as you are, in each different fields, but you said that people would come to you and they weren't doing what you told them to do. Have you
hmm
seen an advancement or a progression towards helping people do what you want them to do? I deal with a similar challenge of I have the resources here for you if you would just partake of them. Have you been able to advance that with your students?
A little bit. I think partly is because our culture is starting to shift to embrace more of this philosophy. Whereas 10 years ago and 7 years ago, when I was really facing these challenges with my clients, I mean, yoga wasn't as mainstream, right?
Mm.
And even drinking water was considered, but I just want my coffee. Why do I have to drink water? So I think the culture is supporting the shift. And I feel like I've also found ways to communicate it more
Mm.
effectively and break it down in pieces they can understand, which will bring us later in our conversation to
Mm.
how being
Hmm.
online has really helped me do that.
Hmm. So you utilize education-based marketing, which is what I
Yes.
teach. Okay, so tell me, how then did you come to the daily marketing coach? What's the story behind that?
Sure. Well, my son turned 2, and it was as if a revelation happened within me where I was ready again to bring myself online and to create that presence. And my goal is to stay at home and to raise my son and only work a few hours outside of my house a week. I definitely plan on homeschooling a growing family, but right now my baby is my business. So I birthed this online presence in September of 2013. So about 6.5 months ago, I joined DMC.
Okay.
And it happened when my close friend, Courtney Sullivan, she and I were talking about how I was ready to work online and to bring myself there. She'd been encouraging this for a while, but she also knows that a mom has to get ready to get back into it. And she immediately said, don't waste your time with anything else. I want you to succeed. And if you want to succeed, you just need to join DMC. And the Pinterest webinar is what brought me into the funnel. I was already fascinated about this social platform. And so when I saw that's what you had going on, I was like, oh, they're cutting edge. They're ready to give it to me. And I can just go to this webinar and it's free. And I felt immediately the giving that you really talk about. I was like, wow, they're giving me all this stuff and I can join for $295. And I remember asking Courtney, why would I join for $295? Who wouldn't join for $295? And she said, well, you'll see. Just keep going down the rabbit hole. And sure enough, within a week, I was a lifetime Inner Circle member and written my life over to you.
Well, awesome. Yes, you and Courtney are awesome on the group page to see the interaction there. You two are just soaking up everything you possibly can to advance your businesses, and I absolutely love it. Well, I have a tough question for you. You've been with DMC, you said 6.5 months now? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you like best about the Daily Marketing Coach?
I had to break it up into 3 pieces. So the initial thing that I loved was the direction that you offer. So I'm a systems thinker. That was my concentration in school. I'm into curriculum design and the way that people learn. That fascinates me. So for me, the way that the back office is set up completely supports my brain to follow your system, which completely works, and then apply it. And it makes today's marketing way less complicated. I can maintain my lifestyle, which is the other important piece for me of taking care of myself and my family, and the back office doesn't go anywhere. It's not like I've lost it on my browser or it was a piece of paper or any of that. It's all in one place. I can press pause and make the lasagna and come back to it. Or I can listen to a pre-recorded webinar while I make the lasagna.
Right.
So the direction and the system is something I completely align with as an educator. The second piece is the strategy. I truly resonate with attraction or content marketing. And it's ironic because I went to college for marketing at the turn of the millennium and was completely turned off. It felt deceitful and unaligned with my values. I ended up doing marketing in a food co-op. That was about the only place I could find the right fit for my spirit. And I just couldn't handle the business of it. And I was even, trying to get people to buy organic food. And I still was like, I can't do this.
Interesting.
So I went on to become a massage therapist and a practical herbalist instead. And still within that, as an entrepreneur, I needed to sell and market myself. And I dreaded that piece. And it wasn't until I found DMC and you that your approach clicked for me, that the whole essence of being able to position myself online and just sparkle, allowing people who resonated with what I had to offer, they could just come to me. This was a game changer, not only in business, but in my heart, because it was like, for once, someone told me that I could just be myself. And not only was that acceptable, but that's what would bring me profit.
Right.
And I've always been the weird one, the unique one, wow, she's got something else going on. So this was the first time someone was like, yeah, be you, that works. Someone is gonna really like that. Not just one person, but many. And so that was a huge shift of consciousness as well as how I could operate in the world and, make a living. And then the third piece, which could almost be the most important, was your ethics. And I feel like it ties into what I've just shared, but you bring a kind and a compassionate side into this cutthroat world of marketing. And I appreciate your more esoteric edges, like the way that you give us the dream casting exercise. Those are pieces that I've done in my life before. And it was really nice right off the bat to dive into your training and to see that piece of you. it helped me connect deeper. And I watched some of our conversations on the training calls or even the Facebook group page. They're just full of heart and soul. And I haven't seen that anywhere else. And that's truly remarkable.
Well, thank you. Can you recap the three? I caught one. No,
Sure.
what was number two?
Strategy.
A strategy. So number one was the way the back office is set up. Second is strategy. And third is...
Your ethics.
Okay, thank you. Wow, I appreciate that. All right, let's talk about results. We're really big on the whole check and adjust and giving feedback, which is what our group page, that's not really an appropriate name. It truly is a mastermind group on our private Facebook group page where people are giving each other feedback all day long. But speak to the results. You've been here 6.5 months. You're now, and at one time you were disenchanted, disenfranchised with this whole concept
Totally.
of marketing online, and now you've found it to align with yourself and your values. So 6.5 months later, where do you feel it's taken you?
Sure. I mean, well, broadly, I'm online. It sure wasn't 6.5 months ago. So it gave me that ability to restart my business because I've always had a physical business that moved place to place with me along my journey, and I would put it all in my car and away I'd go. So this is the first time that I could have an online presence, and I can reach my scattered audience that I'd already created like I'd never done before. And I'm there so people who are looking for what I have to offer can find me. I mean, just through SEO, I get so many clients every week.
Nice.
So on a personal growth level, which to me is almost equal, if not more important, I feel like DMC has helped refine me into an online presence. And for me, I've always felt like I have heaps of information and tools that I've collected over these past 15 years. And with the coaching, I've learned how to put it all together and market it. So every month, it seems, I get more and more clear on another level of how to take it further. I know this isn't just, I'm going to reach some plateau and then go from there. It just keeps going deeper and deeper. And even yesterday, I had a major breakthrough with the first piece that we were talking about, how you give people all these tools and they don't really do anything with it. And so I'm starting to see for myself how I can take that to a next place of, well, how do we help people use the tools, right? I mean, it's one thing to give them to them,
Exactly.
and it's another to teach them how to use the tools. And so I'm starting to see within my business not only how I'm going to grow, but why I want to grow, and that this is all going to keep taking me to the next level of, I haven't started doing paid advertising. I'm about to start doing that, and local market placement. A bunch of really big things I feel like are ready to happen now that I have my foundation. And what I give so much thanks and credit for to you and Daily Marketing Coach is that you've helped me build a very solid platform. And now I can take my online presence and do all these big dreamy things that I want to do.
Awesome. Fantastic. So you are getting customers coming to you as a result of building.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Very impressive. I have to say there's a term, it's written by Wallace Wattles, and from his book, it's called The Science of Getting Rich, I believe is the name of it. And he talks about being an advancing personality, and an advancing personality is one who advances others. I see that in you.
Oh, yay. It's definitely my goal, is to engage and empower people on their healing journey, because I feel like if we're all on that path, we're going to make a really great future for each other.
That's right. Awesome. All right. So there's folks watching this interview and pondering for themselves, possibly twofold. Number one, maybe they too, like you, wanted to be online, but it was like they were repulsed or they just couldn't see it happening. So it could be that group of people who are not yet online. And then secondly, those who have been wanting to build their online presence, but haven't found the right place. Can you speak to those people?
Sure. I would say if you don't want to waste your time gathering little pieces of this system and that webinar, because it's all out there right now, we're all getting flooded with the new way to market yourself, then I would say come to the place that has the depth to not only kickstart your online presence, but to stick with you as you face challenges. Because DMC is that deep. It's not something you're going to outgrow in a few months. And I I can say that from other things that I've tried, I outgrow things very quickly. I'm a fast learner and I move at a high pace. So for me, I feel like, oh no, I'm here for the long run. I'm ready to keep doing this. They're going to grow with me. They're going to help me keep moving. And it's the only place, honestly, that wants to hear about what you did today with your business. Your partner doesn't want to hear that. Your mom doesn't want to. Nobody wants to hear what you just did today with your business. But we get to post our EODs, our end of day reports every day. And that accountability to hold myself to, as well as that the group helps support me to be accountable, is a really crucial aspect of moving yourself forward each day. Not to mention the plethora of content that will fill your brain in the back office. It's already there. So you have this, daily practice that you're building and information that constantly is coming in that's new. But there's this encyclopedia in the back office to tap into. So there's a balance.
How about cost effectiveness? Talk to that.
I can't imagine where I would be if I hadn't spent the money that I've spent. To me, it's already balanced out, if not given me way more than what I put in. It just feels like a no-brainer. There's no way that I could be where I'm at and be making money every single week doing what I love to do and not have joined DMC. I don't see how it would have happened.
Well, I am extremely blessed that you have gotten such amazing results. You brought your head, your heart, and your soul into the equation. You just gave it your all, and you're reaping the benefits of all that. So it's very gratifying to me.
Well, I'm so grateful for you and your team to have set up such a successful paradigm for us to all shift into, because I was looking for it, and I'm grateful that my friend Courtney Sullivan just ushered me right in the gate so I didn't have to waste too much time. But even as I'm in it, I'm really aware of all these other things out there, and I just kind of laugh some days at it. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I have DMC.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jahnan. I so appreciate you and your time here to share with us what DMC has meant for you. Have an awesome day.
You too. Peace.
All righty. Peace to you. Bye-bye.